Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for your Master of Ceremonies, David Perry.
Good morning, 2013 Autodesk Oregon Regional! Yes, it's great to see so many fans, so many teams out there. I hear we have some teams from California. There they are. How about Idaho? Washington? And of course, we don't call it the Autodesk Oregon Regional for no reason. Oregon? Yes, that's right. I am so excited to see what happens this year. There are so many really cool solutions in these robots to get the Frisbees and the targets. I think they're going to do a lot better than I did. I guarantee by the end of 2 days, I will get something in that target. Okay? Climbing pyramids, launching Frisbees. As somebody who has played Ultimate, I know how hard it is to launch a Frisbee, and I'm really impressed with what some of these robots can do. So I think we're in for a really exciting weekend. Okay? But before we get started, let's hear from our first founder, Dean Kamen, and National Advisor, Woody Flowers.
Welcome to the Autodesk Oregon First Regional.
Congratulations, you've done it again. In just 6 weeks, from a very challenging design problem to a working solution.
Now you get to have even more fun, sharing your solution, checking out what other teams have done, and hearing the roar of the crowd. We hope you realize that Ultimate Ascent is a metaphor for real life.
Life is like this first game. You have lots of unique, rich, and valuable targets to aim for. You have to pick your goals and own them. Often the goals with the greatest reward take the most time, effort, and resources.
Neither you nor your robot have to tackle the most challenging goals alone. Getting help from mentors and teammates is not restricted to First. As you go forward, find the best team and remember the lessons from First, especially about giving back to help others.
You'll face hurdles in life that seem as impossible as quickly creating a pyramid climbing Frisbee throwing robot. I'm confident that your time with your FRC team will serve you well. Your success will likely be incremental, one rung at a time. By taking deliberate steps, analyzing the problems, and thinking of clever solutions, you'll make it to the top.
Why do we have First? To connect you to the best role models in the world.
To teach you how to solve impossible problems.
And to help you realize that the hard things have the greatest rewards.
First has helped you prepare for the future. You know what to do, you know how to do it, and you know how to help others along the way.
This is why we have First. And now let's have a great time with
Ultimate Ascent.
All right. So now I'd like to welcome our first guest. He is from Oregon State University's Dynamic Robotics Lab. This is Dr. Bill Smart. He's a recent addition here to Oregon via St. Louis and originally Scotland. So even though he's new to Oregon, I think he's probably already a fan of 4132, the Scottbots, maybe? When he's not busy researching machine learning and brain-computer interface, he's practicing Krav Maga, Jiu-Jitsu, Judo. He's got a rainbow of belts, so when it comes time for the robotic uprising, this is the guy that we really want on our side. Thank you very much, and welcome.
Wow. All right, good morning. Good morning. All right. Thanks for the introduction. I'm from OSU, where I was asked to come here and talk a little bit about the robotic stuff we're doing. Who wants to go to college? All right. We have robots and robotics at OSU. Come to OSU. It'll be awesome. Can you roll the tape? We have robots. Yes, we have robots. But I'm going to be boring and talk about people first. We have 7 faculty in robotics at Oregon State. We're going to have 9 by the end of this year. That makes us one of the biggest groups in the country. One of the biggest groups in the world. Yay! And we're starting a graduate program, a master's and PhD in robotics. We have robots that pick fruit. This is something we built. We're going to deploy that in orchards. This is another robot we built, Jonathan Hurst. It's a walking robot. This is probably the best walking robot in the world right now at Oregon State, an hour and a half from here. It's tied to a boom right now. They're going to take it off that boom this year, and it's going to walk around in the world doing stuff. Okay? Really good engineering, really good mechanical engineering, but also computer scientist. Computer science, I'm a computer scientist. To program it to do stuff. No one's controlling that with a joystick. It's being controlled by a computer right now. Jonathan won the Most Awesome Award from Popular Mechanics, Best Robot in the World this year. This is some stuff that I do. Here's another robot. It's looking at the guy in front of him. It's figuring out where his head is, figuring out where that head is pointing, using that pointing direction, that big arrow coming out of his forehead, to tell it what to pick up. It's my student. He's looking at stuff. The robot recognizes it, picks it up. Why are we doing that? Because we work with this guy. He's called Henry Evans. He's a quadriplegic. He had a stroke 10 years ago. He can't move. This is kind of how he lives his life. What we're doing is we are taking robots and using them to let Henry do stuff for himself. So this is the range of motion he has. You see his thumb? And he can move his head. So not so awesome. So we've been working for a couple of years to let him drive a robot. This robot, it's a PR2 from Willow Garage. We have one of these. He's going to drive that around, and it's going to do stuff for him. It's going to pick stuff out of drawers. It's going to bring stuff to him. He's controlling it right now. It's a nice combination of figuring out what he wants and a lot of computer software underneath doing cool stuff. This is him in his house, picking stuff off shelves. So the cool thing about this is that he's handing out Halloween candy last Halloween to kids. This is really good. He can do stuff for himself now. He doesn't have to be bound in his chair. And I think this is one of the coolest things we're doing at OSU. I've had undergrads play with this robot, not play with this robot, work with this robot, and help us. This is really cool. So, like I say, we have robotics at Oregon State. If you're interested in robotics, come down. We have some of the best robots in the world. We have about $2 million worth of robots in the lab, and we are looking for students. And the video should stop soon. Or maybe not. One of the things you shouldn't do with robots is put your nose in the gripper. We gave Henry this robot, and what he really wanted to do was play with it. So after the test, he's about to put his nose in the gripper. Don't do this. It's really bad, especially if you can't move out of the way. So this is sort of the next step from here. Clever software to tweak your nose for you. Thank you very much.
Our next guest is about as close as you can get to a rock star here in the Pacific Northwest. He's a Corvette-driving, blacksmithing leader of Autodesk here in Lake Oswego, where they create the software that many of you use to design your robots, Academy Award-winning films used to create their special effects. He also allows his staff to hire high school students each summer as interns. So please, welcome Buzz Cross from Autodesk.
morning, everybody. A fun little video. Well, you know, what I think is actually cool about it is the one thing it doesn't have is a slide rule. All right, so I'll tell you, the world of technology has really changed. And I will confess to you, and I've been an engineer, let's just say more than 20 years. When I first started using computers to do engineering, I couldn't quite get my parents to understand what I did. And I remember overhearing my mom tell her friends, Buzz does something with numbers. It's what they, I think, kind of thought what computer engineering is like. Today it's gotten to be so graphical. Everybody can see it and understand what you do. So the world has changed a lot. It's gotten to be very, very social. This is the new world of engineering. All I really want to tell you guys, if you think about engineering as a career, it is the most fun you'll ever had. Thanks.
Thanks, Buzz. Thank you, Buzz, and thank you for 20 years of support at both the local and national level. Our next guest, if you're in this building, probably needs no introduction. Please let me bring on Deb Mumhill, Pacific Northwest Director.
Thank you. Good morning, you guys. All right. Did you guys know that in Oregon we have over 720 first teams this year? Awesome. That goes from our little junior first Lego League kiddos that are first graders to third graders to first Lego League, 4th to 8th grade, first tech challenge, 7th grade to high school, and first robotics competition, which is you guys. So give it up for everybody who's building robots in Oregon. Also, some of you guys might not know that First in Oregon got the Governor's Outstanding Volunteer Statewide Award this year for 120,000 mentoring hours around robots. So you guys, the mentors out here, we're going to give it up for you guys too. So give them an applause. The third thing that I am so excited about this year is in Salem, Oregon. I know we did not have state money for Oregon teams this year, and we had like 300,000 for Washington teams this year. But in Salem, we're going after cash so that we can pay the teachers, so that we can start new teams, so that we have STEM coaches, just like we have football and wrestling and track coaches, and we're going after that big time. And always, I never, ever, ever do this alone. You guys do all the work, and I need to introduce to you some amazing people behind the scenes who are using a little bit of their clout, because from our Oregon First Executive Advisory Board, they represent $169 billion in net revenues, and when they head down to Salem to speak, they wield a big stick. So I'm going to introduce to you this morning our first Executive Advisory Board members. So first up, we have Terry Knott, President of Online Newsroom. We have Dr. Rolf Reisdeck from Institute. We have Perry Moore from Boeing, who hired 30,000 people last year. We have Buzz Cross from Autodesk, that's looking under every rock on this nation for creative talent. We've got Carlos Quintana from FLIR. We have John DePonia, not only a policy wonk, but from Eco Northwest, who can tell us how many computer science jobs and engineering jobs we're going to have in the state this year. We have Paul Sale, new member from Mentor Graphics, doing global benefits and salaries. We have Caitlin Sauce from Balgenic, my partner in crime down in Salem Capital. We've got Dave Carlson from Google, who has put $4.8 million in the last 4 years into Oregon. Awesome. We've got Bruce Schaefer, one of the biggest reasons from Oregon University Systems that we have 720 teams in this state. Kim Davis from Wagner Edstrom. That's why we had Drew Carney show and everything going on in media. We have Eliza Dart Scott from Tripwire, our chairwoman from our board. We've got Dwayne Mellencamp, the CTO of Tripwire, also member of our board. We have Bob Getz, who does our website and handles all you media relations folks. We got rock star Skip Newberry from Technology Association of Oregon, who is making us the fundraiser for the Tech Awards at the Art Museum this year. You rock, Skip Newberry. And last but not least, we have your ref, Roxy Hecker, who is going to be giving you a little bit of tips on how we're going to play this game today. So thank you to our board members. I'm going to hand it over to Roxy Hecker.
Good morning. Come on, one more time. Good morning. I love that. So I just want to, for those of you I haven't had a chance to meet, my name is Roxy Hecker. I'll be your head referee for the weekend. I'm very excited. Yesterday's practice was much better than we anticipated. Lots of robots climbing. It's very exciting. Lots of robots throwing frisbees pretty accurately. To help make sure that the game is played as fairly and evenly as possible, I have 4 refs through who, which, without which. Yeah. I could not do what we do, so I'd like to introduce them very quickly to you. We have Dan Dugan from Microchip, Nathan Lose from Autodesk, Tom Saxton from Idle Loop Software, FRC Tracker, and Kathy Saxton from Idle Loop Software as well. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
All right, so safety is always a priority with FIRST, of course. That's especially true this year with flying objects perhaps sailing up and over the end. Okay? So please, if you're in the audience, if you're waiting to queue up over there, make sure you're keeping an eye out at all times for discs. We also want to thank our safety advisors from Underwriters Laboratory, led by Nathan Thielman. Let's give him a round of applause, please. And also, let's give a big round of applause to Team 245, the Atom Bots from Rochester Hills, Michigan, for their award-winning safety video. Let's take a look. All right. So, of course, FIRST can't happen, literally cannot happen, without our amazing team of volunteers. Volunteers help keep things running smoothly, both behind the scenes and out on front. So please, let's give a big round of applause to all the FIRST volunteers, both here at FRC, at Junior FLL, FLL, and FTC around the country. And perhaps most important among those volunteers are your coaches and mentors. You all know how much help they give you throughout the build season, throughout the year. So let's give them a huge round of applause. We're just about ready to get started with some robots. But before that, let's sing our national anthem. This is a group of folks from FRC teams here. Come on out, guys. You guys ready to see some robots? All right, teams, why don't you come on out, power up your